I hope you can see this okay. I think you can. I've got the lights off. I turned the breaker off, and my project today is I'm going to be installing this dimmer. It's got a slide on it. Up is high, slide it down is low, and then on off is a little paddle thing at the bottom. They have different types of dimmers at the store. They don't have, all of them aren't exactly the same as that. And I think you can see that okay. Maybe I can back this up a little bit. I'm sitting on the counter in the bathroom, and yes, this light switch is in a bathroom. There's a mirror here, there's a mirrored cover plate on here, and I've never really done one on a mirror before. I'm just going to have to be careful. I've got the power shut off at the breaker. Don't try to do anything like this without shutting the power off first, okay? I'm going to try to adjust this a little bit. Maybe up. I don't know if I did any good with that or not. Let's try to get this up a little bit higher. I was going to take my construction light and turn that on in here, but I decided not to because I think there's enough light here. Okay, so I've just got a Phillips screwdriver. That's all I got. Nice little one like that. I use this one for all kinds of stuff. I don't even know if you can buy that at buy this size at the store. I got it when I was installing a ceiling fan, and it came with the ceiling fan. Alright, so I'm going to pull this out like this and see what I got. I've got 2 black wires and a copper ground wire. Okay, that's it. So I can just tilt it over this way because I'm right-handed, and I'm going to undo. There's a little green ground screw there. Like that. Slide that off. So usually the ground wire's got a little loop-de-loo in it. Like that, and it overlaps onto a ground screw. Now I can take this and flip it over. And does it matter? There's 2, see on this side there's 2 screws. Well, they ended up not using the screws. They could have made a little loop-de-loo kind of like on the ground wire. They could have stripped the wire back further and actually used the screws. Well, they decided not to do that. They poked them in the back of the light switch, in the back. Okay, you see that? And now I've got to take those out, and it's hooked on there. You just kind of push it in there and it sticks on there. To pull it out, you can't just grab it and pull it out. You've got to do it a slightly different way if you want to reuse the end of that. Because I could take some wire cutters or some wire strippers like this. I could use those and cut the wire off if I wanted. But if I do that, then I'm going to have to restrip the wire. And if you don't have any wire strippers, we can do it a different way. Little screwdriver like this, small tip, okay? And there's a slot back there, and I'm going to push on that. I pushed on that, and then I can pull that right out. Did you see that? Push on there, and it pulls out. I just pushed into the back. There's little slots underneath the round bit. Okay? And I'm going to end up saving this light switch. I can use it another time. Now, does it matter which wire goes to what on this dimmer? No. My first things first though, okay? I'm just going to straighten these wires out like that. And I can see back in there, there's a couple wire nuts back in there. I'm not going to worry about those. I'm never going to have to mess with that. I've got this wire here I want to straighten out, so I'm going to take my little wire strippers, and there's some little holes in them right there. See them? Right in there. I can take that. That's how you bend this wire. I'm just going to take that in there and try to straighten that out. And you can do this with a pair of pliers too. Okay, so now I'm just going to straighten this out, and in fact, this ground wire is longer than the other wires. I can hook it on that way, or I can cut it off, and I think I'm going to cut it off. Just going to cut that end off. Okay, like that. Now, if you don't have wire strippers on there like that, what else could you use? Well, you could use a pair of pliers. Use that to straighten out the tip, and you could cut the wire with it right here, this little bit right in there. See that? You use that to cut your wire. You can put it on there. Let's see if I can do it. It's hard to cut just an eighth of an inch off. But if I wanted to cut off, like say this piece is too long and I want to just cut it far back off, I can push it in there. Here, I'm going to do it right here. See? Snipped it off. Just using that cutter. That little bit right there. Now my ground wire's shorter than the rest now, but that's okay. I was just showing you that it can be done. Okay? So that's your first step. Now what are we going to do now? I'm getting ready to put this on. I pulled this out of the box, and it's got wires on the back side. Okay? Here's your ground wire. And it comes with 2 black wires. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.